After selling 13,000 units in 7 years in India, the GLC is ready for a new innings in the country. One that will redefine this space.
Or maybe bring a fresh perspective to the segment. Well, Mercedes very modestly says that it was hard to improve on the outgoing car. And well, that hasn't stopped it from tinkering around, because the new one basically reminds you, at least from the front, of the older gen model. So you get sleek new DRLs and a dash of chrome right up front. But move to the side and you'll get to understand the difference that I'm talking about, because now it's longer, the wheelbase too has grown, and you see this nice coupe-like roofline. It's more of a coupe SUV, so to say, and that's what Mercedes has been maintaining with all its new cars. Those 19-inch wheels also give it a nice stand, and overall you feel that the car squats down and well, it is lower in fact. But let me tell you this, overall it's still stylish, it's sleek, and even with all that chrome around it, not at all over the top.
The tail lamps get a 3D treatment, but the overall design is just as before, very understated. We can't say that about the cabin though.
So there's a big improvement on the inside of the car, because the dashboard now is cleaner now, with lesser buttons and more touch and feel. So you get haptic buttons as well. You also get this nice touchscreen infotainment system, 11.9 inch that one, and you get all your information about what's going on in the car on this digital instrument cluster. Having said all of that, it is directed a bit to the driver. 6 degrees angle is what Mercedes-Benz says. You also get stuff like wireless charging and the C-type chargers as well. Overall, the look and feel has changed on the inside. It's more new gen than anything else, and you like it because you know Mercedes is going that way. And yeah, we love the improvement inside. You also get these nice touch buttons on the steering wheel as well, very much like the E-Class had, and then the C-Class as well. All that said, good space here, at least on the front.
And on the feature front too, it's quite extensive, right from the biometric authentication to voice recognition and wireless smartphone integration. It's all part of the package. Well, you expect that now, don't you? It's the first SUV in the company's lineup to get the latest MBUX NT-G7 telematics. But there are some driver-friendly features too, like the transparent bonnet. You get a live feed of the road condition as you drive. Comes in handy when dealing with bad roads and gets deactivated once you hit 10 km per hour. The one big miss though is a proper grip for the dead pedal. And I had said this back in 2016 as well with the first generation car. Come on, Mercedes. A foothold is much needed. The rear seat space though is a bit underwhelming.
Well, now I have positioned my seat in my driving position, and as you can see, Akhil behind me hardly has any knee room. I mean, it's there, but it's not there as well. And so long journeys are going to be troublesome, especially for people as tall as me and him sitting back to back. So yes, though the wheelbase has changed and has grown, there is some issue with the space behind.
There's good headroom and shoulder room though, and you get rear AC vents, charging points among other things. But of course you want to know how it drives, so let's get to it.
Now the GLC 300 gets a 2-liter turbo petrol motor. It is all new. 255 brake horsepower is what it has to offer, and there is also 23 bhp more coming from the integrated starter generator. So what is that? That's a 48 volt, very mild hybrid unit, which basically helps you coast along, and it'll do that by shutting off the engine completely. So yes, big on fuel efficiency and extremely helpful on long drives, saving you money as well. Now, given that 4MATIC is, well, standard on this car, there is enough and more power that goes into the wheels, and that 9-speed gearbox actually helps it through. But there is a problem. Right at the very beginning, as in at lower RPMs, there is a lag, and there is nothing from the engine that you get from 1400 RPM to 1750 RPM. The sweet spot starts after that, right from 2000 RPM going all the way to up to 3500 RPM. And that's when the GLC is in zone. In sport mode too, it's not sporty, because this car is more family oriented and not sporty at all. So don't expect that from the GLC. It'll try, but well, you won't be satisfied.
There's a 15% improvement in fuel efficiency, and now the petrol returns a mileage of 14.72 kilometers per litre. Mercedes will also bring in the diesel, but a little later. It too gets a 2-liter motor punching out 194 brake horsepower, and that review is still pending. While the 60 bhp bump in power for the petrol is great news, there's some good news on the ride front too.
Now, last time around, the suspension had a lot of travel for the GLC. That has been corrected. It's a bit on the firmer side, but then again, does a family SUV need firmer suspension? That's the problem, right? You don't get the right mix. But there is hardly any body roll that you get on this car, which is great. So no one inside the cabin gets disturbed, even if you're driving like mad.
Now on the safety front, 7 airbags, 360-degree camera, park assist, lane keeping assist are part of the package. But this one gets level 1 ADAS only, which is a miss given that it will be expensive. Currently, the GLC is priced between 62 lakh to 68 lakh rupees. But the new one will come at a premium because it gets a lot more. So I am expecting pricing to begin from 67 lakh rupees going all the way to 70 lakh rupees, and that is expensive. I'll put things into perspective. When it was first launched in 2016, it cost 51 lakh rupees. So you know how big the leap is. But rivals like the Audi Q5, BMW X3 and the Volvo XC60 are priced similarly. So I am expecting Mercedes to be very competitive because the GLC, though understated, brings more to the table. More power, more tech and more comfort.